This is a clip from Day Zero. The entire episode is available on Rockfin and all podcast platforms. Welcome back to Day Zero. I'm Chris Matthew. Our hosts today are Corey Hughes, Charlie Robinson, X-Cube 420, and myself. How are you gentlemen doing?
Excellent.
Waiting for the meteor.
Yeah,
thumbs up.
Sweet. Well, we are. It's the Four Horsemen, the original today. And if you're watching this, congratulations. That means you've either lived another week in our dystopian slave matrix, or you're dead. And this is your personal purgatory, where all you see all day is Day Zero episodes. And worst of all, you look in the mirror and you've turned dark white. We're here to crawl into your brains, lay eggs of truth, exit while the gestation process completes. Then our Day Zero freedom babies multiply throughout your bodies until we have complete control and you're our sex slave for eternity. Shit, did I say that out loud? Oh, anyway, yeah. Charlie, we missed you. How you doing, buddy? What you got for us?
I'm good, man. Well, this is what I've got for us. We have the dumbest group of people in the White House that I've ever seen in my entire life, which started the week off with Kamala Harris trying to explain the importance of time. Did you hear that speech where listen, even on your, after you've had 6 bong rips, you want to try and talk to someone about time. It's difficult when you're Kamala Harris and your IQ is hovering right around mental retardation levels, and you go out on a national stage with a band of reporters in front of you and several microphones, and you try to explain to people the importance of time and how time is important because it keeps going, and that it's important because and you just go, oh my God. If something happens to the president, the guy who shits his pants everywhere he goes, she becomes the president of the United States, and she's so dumb she can barely put a sentence together. So it's my topic for this week is really a 2-part one. It's first is Kamala Harris, and in our attempt to quantify her level of retardation in some sort of measurable way. It's very tough to do. I did see someone that put a compilation video together of her. They just called it Kamala Word Salad. And it was 2.5 minutes of her talking about things and making no sense. Like I almost kind of envy, like, I think it might be a bit of a skill to be able to talk without actually saying really anything. I mean, there's words that come out and I know what the words mean and I understand words, but the order in which she puts them in doesn't make any sense. And it's like sentences that don't have periods at the end, that are thoughts that don't go anywhere, concepts about time and about how we're here and we're now, and it's important that we're now and we're looking forward to the then. And you're like, I feel like I'm on mushrooms when I just listened to her. And then you have Joe Biden. And Joe Biden went out this week in Europe, and he, first of all, he told the group of United States Army Rangers that they were going to, he explained to them and painted a picture of Ukraine. And explained, you'll see these brave men and women that are there and they're fighting for themselves and for their country, and they're doing they're standing up to the Russians and they're so brave. And then he goes, you'll see when you get there. And they're like, we're going there. And he's like, oh yeah, you'll see, you'll know what I'm talking about when you get there. And they're like, wait a second, I didn't know that we're going there. And he's like, oh yeah, we're definitely going there. Then on camera, he presumably with a straight face, I don't know, maybe it's his clone talking, who's done with the job and just wants to rat fuck him. And it comes out and says that we need to regime change Vladimir Putin. Which is suicidal. I mean, it is. I get it. Like Hillary Clinton talked about these things, can't we just drone strike him, talking about Assange and Gaddafi, we saw, he died, all that stuff. We're not really supposed to hear that. I mean, we do hear it or we see it or whatever, but because it gets leaked from time to time, but we're not supposed to know that those conversations are happening. And you certainly are not supposed to stand up on a stage with microphones and address this big crowd and tell everyone casually that you want to start World War III. And I'll tell you what, this is the thing. They don't act. They're not acting like they want to stop World War III. They're acting like they want to start World War III. And this is a huge problem, because if you saw the video of Biden in Poland this week, a couple days ago, attempting to eat pizza with with his dentures pulling a Nancy Pelosi, practically jumping out of his mouth as he tries to gum down a piece of pizza. Over his shoulders are these soldiers that are sitting at another table. It kind of reminded me of like the cool kids in high school at the cafeteria, and like Biden was sitting at the nerd table, and the cool kids were right behind him, and the look on their face of utter disgust and contempt for this man was priceless. I mean, they didn't say anything. They just looked at him like, who are you? And he wants them to go die for his administration. Are you kidding me? This is an abomination, man. And it's embarrassing as a member of the human race, as an American or whatever, to have this old man out there making decisions theoretically that could have some real world implications. I mean, I get it. If he's just playing the role of president and saying crazy shit and whatever, but his words with regard to the war directly impact, they have a real measurable impact where people can actually die based on what he says, the decisions that he makes to start these wars. And then you've got Anthony Blinken, his Secretary of State, going, oh, well, he didn't really mean that. What he actually meant was no. And Jen Psaki, no, stop covering for him. He said what he said. We heard what he said. He said that Vladimir Putin was a monster and he shouldn't be able to remain in power, and we got to get him out of there. That's regime change. That's craziness. And
regime change in Russia.
Regime change
laughable.
In Russia.
Laughable.
Laughable. About
that's crazy.
A G20 nation that has nukes, and you're going to regime change it. This is not Tanzania, where you can get Mugafili out, the guy that did all of the PCR testing on fruits and goats and shit like that, who comes out and says, oh, COVID's fake. And then next thing you know, that dude's blowing up in an airplane or whatever. That's one thing. You can, if you want to do that to all the African nations and do all that crazy shit, that's one thing. I mean, I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying that there's less repercussions when you do that to him. When you do that to Vladimir Putin, man, you're opening up a can of worms that this president is unqualified to handle. It's an embarrassment to us as just decent human beings, and we got to get him out, and we got to get him out and replace him with the dipshit that's trying to explain to you time like she's eaten an eighth of mushrooms. It's maddening to me that this isn't like rightly being called out by everybody. But of course, the left is defending him like they always do. Oh, he didn't mean it, or he didn't really say it. It's like, listen, motherfucker, it's on video. Don't tell me he didn't say it. It's on video. They're like, he said it, yeah, but what he meant to say, what? No. If he meant to say something else, he would have said something else. He said what he said. Let's analyze that. So we're a joke. The American foreign policy is a disaster. For all the problems I had with Donald Trump, and there were many of them, he handled foreign diplomacy a lot differently than Joe Biden. I think everyone is just waiting for Joe Biden to fall asleep so that they can just run their agendas behind his back.